Hello guys, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at how you can create a viral piece of design content whilst better connecting with your audience and playing into Instagram's algorithm rules. So if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, and drop a little comment. You know, let me know what you've had for breakfast, or I don't know, tell me my haircut is shit, which a lot of you guys seem to keep doing. Whatever, but thank you, because it does actually help the video. So yeah, drop a little comment with whatever, and yeah, let's get into today's video. So Instagram came out recently and said that they are no longer a photo sharing app, which is what we know it as, it's what we've always known it as, it's what it was founded as, but the world is moving progressively more towards video, and so is Instagram. So Instagram has to compete with places like YouTube and TikTok for ad spend, and videos keep people engaged for a lot longer than images do. Even if you only watch the first 5 to 10 seconds of a video, you're still spending a lot more dwell time on that piece of content than you probably would on any image that you would see on your timeline. So this is what Instagram wants now. It doesn't matter about likes, comments, and shares quite as much. It's more about like how long people are spending on your piece of content. If it sees that a piece of content is keeping the user on the app for a little bit longer than other pieces of content, then it will push that a little bit further, and you'll get more attention, more eyeballs on it, more likes, more follows, that sort of thing. So with a creative or a design lens on it, how does that affect us, and how does that affect our style of content? Well, it depends on what you're using the app for. So it doesn't mean that you need to start doing TikTok dances in front of your logos or anything like that, but it's just important to think about how you can start implementing a little bit of motion design in order to get more exposure on your work. This might be just you videoing it instead of taking photos of your work, or adding a little simple bit of animation into a static design in order for it to keep people engaged a little bit longer, and then for you to then in turn get a little bit more exposure, a little bit more eyeballs on that piece of work. Now, something I've been trying to do recently, well, I've had a little break, but like more recently than not, is keep my audience engaged with my page by posting like more regular but sort of easily digestible pieces of content. I'm sure that like me, you don't always have time to post a full project, or you know, spend your evenings creating something purely to post on Instagram, and you don't necessarily want to be posting your client work on there every single day. So a solution to this is just to post some lighter, easy to digest pieces of content. These can be things such as a quote, and that can be from you or from someone that you find quite inspirational. This could be like a sort of educational post, like what tips and tricks can you offer, or things that you've learned that you can give out to your community and to your following. Or can you show your personality a little bit more by giving your opinion on something, or you commenting on something and being reactive to things that are going on, recent trends, that sort of thing. This is a really great way of showing a bit more of your personality, and it's a better way to connect with your audience whilst being able to sort of post a bit more and keep your audience engaged with your content. So an example of this, I recently posted a little animated post that was sort of talking about a heat wave that happened here in the UK. Sadly lasted about 10 minutes because it's the UK. It'll probably be snowing again next week. So this was just a little thing I thought of on the day. I thought it was a little bit funny. I thought it would be relatable and relevant, and it was a piece of content that only took me probably 35-40 minutes to create, and I added a little bit of motion in there. I made the text sort of wobble, look like it was sort of on fire, flame sort of thing, or like a mirage in a heat wave. But it was a really quick and easy thing to make, and it outperformed anything I've posted on my page to date. I guess because it was kind of funny, probably not that funny, but relevant, and because it was a video and people were sort of spending a little bit more time looking at that piece of content, it got pushed quite far out, and it reached further than design. And I think that's quite important, especially if you're after freelance work or trying to build a bigger audience, is trying to push yourself out of just the design community, that bracket just outside the design community where people are interested in design but not necessarily are designers themselves, or where you're going to find your freelance clients. Now, it's not the best thing I've ever created, and it's not anything that people haven't seen before, but just using these little things, being relevant, adding a little bit of motion in there, it was just a recipe for a good piece of content that was going to get shares, and it got picked up by a few different type accounts and things like that, and it brought me in a lot more of a following, which is great. So this is definitely something to think about if you want to be more consistent in building yourself as a brand, and you don't necessarily have the time to work on a big project every day. But it's also something to think about if you're working with other brands. So I work with a lot of brands on social media, and coming up with ideas for content for them, this is a very good way to sort of create a simple piece of content that is going to, you know, do the numbers and get a bit more engagement and keep people engaged with your page and with you as a creative or with the brand. It's also good not to overthink a post too much and let your design, your natural ability actually kick in, and not to overthink things. Just like get a little bit creative, see how you're feeling on the day, and not put too much pressure on creating something. So another thing I've come to think of recently is that my Instagram is not my portfolio. It's there for me to show a bit more of my personality, my progression, and my exploration. So this means you can be free to show a bit more of that personality and be a bit more expressive and loose with what what you're posting. Okay, cool. So what is next? Well, as I mentioned before, I haven't really posted in a while. I've been out having fun. I've been to a few festivals, seeing some mates. I've just been quite busy. I landed a new job. I've been focusing on that, so that's why I haven't really posted or anything. So what I might create today is a little update post, just to update my Instagram, let them know what I've been working on, why I haven't been active, what I've been up to, that sort of thing. And I thought it'd be good to show you guys me working through that, coming up with the idea for the post and how you can implement a little bit of motion in it. I'll show you just some really simple animation techniques in After Effects and how you can bring like a static quote to life with a little bit of motion, and how that will affect your content. So I quickly want to do a shout out to today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. So for those of you who haven't heard about Skillshare, it's an online learning platform with thousands of great classes. So it's perfect if you want to learn a new skill or if you want to dive a little bit deeper into your craft. I find it super interesting, and I only realized the other day you can actually listen to it offline, so you can save them and then listen to it on the tube, on your way to work, that sort of thing. I've recently been watching how to design brands that people care about. Now this is by Alex Center, and it's really interesting to watch the perspective and watch the process of someone who's worked with some of the biggest brands worldwide. Definitely inspires me and sort of gives me that push to like want to progress and do a little bit better and improve on my skills. The platform is curated specifically for learning, and they're constantly adding new and exciting classes. So the first 1,000 of you guys watching this to use the link down below will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. I recommend you just go and give it a go and watch a few classes, because I find it really useful and I've really enjoyed watching a lot of the series on there recently, and I know you'll love it as well. So yeah, link down below, go check it out, and let's get back to today's video. So starting off, what is my inspiration? So the inspiration for today's post, as I said, I need to let people know that I've been a bit busy, had a lot going on, and I found myself the other day sat there watching some old vintage film that was on, and you know when you get those credit scenes with the strong typography and the grain overlay at the end, but these sort of titles came in and that sort of inspired me for today's post. So what we're going to do to start off with is we're just going to create our type, always tired, and create a duplicate, always busy. So I keep finding myself at the moment moaning about being busy, moaning about being tired, but it's all good. So I thought, you know what, that'd be the perfect basis for today's post. I want to animate the text width to go from thin to thick, and it's going to pulse through, and then it's going to switch or animate on screen somehow and then go into the next bit of text. That's what the idea is anyway. There's a great tutorial online on how to do this by Georgie Yana, but I'll leave that linked down below because this technique I've learned from watching her videos. So I'm going to start with the ultralight condensed font and work my way up to, I don't know, the bold or the black version. What I'm doing each time is creating a new keyframe after each 3 points, and then I'm going to go up a weight, and you can see when you flick between the two, it looks as if the font weight is sort of bursting out. So I'm going to flick through this from the thin to the bold. Cool, so if I play this for you now, basically what you should do, start off thin, animate big, and then go thin again, which is perfect because now I can create a little loop and it will just keep looping this around and around. So what I want to do now is I want to replicate the same thing, but on this other layer, on the always tired one, because I want them both to be doing exactly the same thing, and then going to animate between the two. So now we've got the same thing happening with the two different bits of text, and I sort of want to transition between them, and I want it to go inverted. I'm going to put a grainy overlay, like a TV sort of vibe, over the top anyway, so it's going to play with the colors. It's not going to be perfect black and white. So I'm just going to create a solid black layer like so, and then pre-compose those top ones, and then create another solid black layer and pre-compose those bottom ones. So now I've got two grouped pre-comps. So what I actually want to do is have it transition in between this. So it goes out, then in, and in this middle bit here, this is when it flicks between the other side. So here, and then bring this second one in. So now it flicks always busy and then flicks to always tired on a constant loop, and they're both doing exactly the same animation. So what I want to do now is invert this top layer. So when it goes onto this, it flips into white and black. So I can drag that invert layer on top of there. So now when it flicks past that bit, it flips color and reverses. Now I want to grab a grain layer. Now this is gonna be like an animated grain layer. You can find it online. And I'm gonna drop that in to give that sort of noisy grain effect. So I found this one here, and I can just drop that into the frame, make sure its size is right. I'm just gonna drop the opacity on this down to about 45%. So I'm feeling like this is a little bit empty, and I wanna add some subtext in there. So I'm probably gonna create some subtext at the bottom. And I'm just gonna put late nightclub because I feel like quite relatable. A lot of you watching this are probably staying up late if you're at uni or if you're working, you've got your own projects on the side. Now I want to have a look for a calligraphy type font or something with a bit of character with a lot of curve. So I'm just gonna have a flick through and try a few different options. I mean, at this point in the video, it's probably important to mention, make sure you save your projects as you go along, because I haven't, and if this closes now, I've just lost this bit of work. I mean, it's not looking great, is it? Okay, it's crashed and it's gone. Cool, so looks like I'm starting again. So I'm back to where we were, and I have found this nice little typeface. I like the character in here, it's got a lot going on. It's called Snell, and I've copied that and I've pasted it into the other pre-comp. So this is where we're at. This is the final design. Well, maybe not final design. I might play with this a little bit more before posting. I usually do. I probably will go away, think about it a bit too much, and I'll come back and make a few little changes. But at the moment, I'm not really looking to change anything. I probably will just add a few little elements at the top just to balance out the text at the bottom. Other than that, this is what I'm going to be posting this week. Also, if there's any specific tutorials that you'd like to see in terms of motion and sort of animating type and that sort of thing, then let me know down below and I can always do a full video on it. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys have learned something. Hopefully you've opened a new mindset to how you can sort of better connect with your audience. Maybe you've picked up a little trick or two here. If you have found the video useful, then please drop the video a like, leave a comment, and obviously subscribe so you can keep up to date with any design content that I drop. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you again soon with a new video. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you in a bit.